Hello, welcome to the Spanish Guitar Workshop. My name is Aaron Green and I am here with an absolutely spectacular 1947 Herman Hauser Segovia model that I'm super excited to tell you all about. For those of you who are familiar with my channel, you may have seen a video I did a little while ago on Hauser guitars. I had 5 Hausers in my studio at that time, and I did this kind of discussion video off the cuff, impromptu, about these instruments and compared them and told their story. What I consider the crown jewel of that particular grouping was a 1947 Hauser Yobet model. Now, this was an instrument that I was fortunate enough to meet pretty early in my career, studied it extensively, and then ended up representing it as a dealer. But it formed a fairly significant foundation of my building, especially since I devised my own Yobet-inspired model. And it really was the first guitar by Hauser, not the first I had ever encountered, but certainly the first I encountered that I think really exemplified the mythology around these instruments. Now, that particular guitar was kind of the stuff of legend, and it existed in an apocryphal story that was told in, well, I first heard it in the 1990s in an interview with a gentleman by the name of Hart Huttig. This was an interview conducted by Richard Brunet. And among all the stories that he told in this article, he mentioned this kind of incredible scenario whereby Hauser, having left his Munich workshop and kind of moving into points unknown, had been discovered by the American military, and they basically told him, "We need you to build some guitars," and showed up with all the materials for him to do so. This story turned out to be not entirely accurate, but not long after that was published, 2 instruments came up at Christie's in New York City. This would have been in 2001. One of them was the 1947 1947 Yobet model that I got to know. And the other was this instrument, a 1947 Segovia model, and I had never had the opportunity to see that instrument because it went off to a different owner at that point. So this is that guitar. And I got to tell you, one of the things that was so amazing to me about the Yobet model, and I talk about it a bit in the video, is that this was an instrument that had never been played. So when the Dr. Cecil was this gentleman who actually had commissioned both instruments, when he got the second guitar, the Yobet model, he said he would never play it until he was worthy. He actually ordered it ostensibly for his daughter, and apparently she was never worthy either. And when the guitar came up for sale at Christie's, it actually had the original strings on it. So the thing about it for me was I got to know that guitar well. I played it many, many times. I am not anywhere near a worthy player of such a guitar, but it always made me feel rather badly for Dr. Cecil that he had this magnificent guitar and he never, ever played it. Then I get this guy, and I don't feel quite so bad for him. To be honest with you, this is an absolutely extraordinary Segovia model, but I think really the coolest part of this whole story is that this guitar was purchased by the gentleman who also purchased the 1947 Yobet model. So these guys are going to be reunited after almost 25 years of being apart. And as someone who always likes a happy ending to a story, I think that's an incredible thing. And I'm super grateful to my dear friend and client for having an interest in these instruments and actually making that happen. So I hope you enjoyed the recordings that Chris Ladd has done on this instrument, and thank you very much for watching.